Hey, good afternoon, Saints fans and who dats. This is Kyle T. Mosley here with the Saints halftime report. I got Mr. Bob Rose of the Bayou Blitz and Saints News Network with me. How you doing, Bob?
I'm pretty good, Kyle. Pleasantly surprised at the way the first half is going, and I would imagine most Saints fans are the same. But we still got a long game to go.
Yeah, long game ago. But look, the Saints are leading at halftime, something that most people really did not believe that would be the case. But I think the Saints left some opportunities out there on the board, right? The Saints are at leading 10-9 at the halftime. Will Lutz missed a easy field goal for his professional career, and it looks like the Saints are starting to feel their groove a little bit with Taysom Hill. How do you rate the first half performance of Taysom yourself?
You know what? The Saints are pretty conservative offensively, which I think most of us expected once we heard that Taysom was going to get the starting nod. But frankly, he's looked sharp. He's looked pretty composed. But he has made a couple poor decisions, in my opinion, mainly due to inexperience. That field goal missed by Lutz that you mentioned, Taysom had taken a sack on the previous play where he shouldn't have. He should have been smarter and got rid of the football. The result, Lutz hit the upright on that field goal attempt. But if it were at the original line of scrimmage, we'd have been talking about a 13-9 halftime lead. But before the 2 or 3 plays before that, Michael Thomas dropped an easy gainer of about 25, 28 yards, which could have put them in a potential touchdown situation. I do think that the Saints are playing smart football. I would like to see them take a little bit more chance with Taysom down the field. We know he has the arm strength, even though he underthrew Emmanuel Sanders on that one. But if you present the threat to go deep against the Atlanta defense, that's bound to open up a little bit more running room. We started to see Kamara wiggle free for some running space there in the second quarter. You would expect more Alvin Kamara in the second half. But again, for Taysom Hill's first start, I am pleasantly surprised by what we've seen so far. The young man is playing composed football.
Yeah, well, I don't think his leadership has ever been in question, right? Being a leader from BYU, now he's 30 years old, has his kid and everything. I don't think the leadership component has ever been the issue. It's been the consistency or the lack of production. Well, when you have someone like Drew Brees, you're not going to have much production in the National Football League, right?
Yeah, exactly. And again, Taysom's ability to play football, in general, his toughness and his overall composure should never be in question. Many of us, myself included, question his accuracy and his ability to read defenses. But you got to love the game plan that Sean Payton designed. Again, we expected the passing game to be pretty conservative, but when you have a guy like number 13. He's going to make any quarterback look good. And aside from that drop, it's really nice to see Michael Thomas get more heavily involved in the offense. And again, you would expect more of Kamara through the passing game in the second half also.
Yeah, I was about to call the FBI for Michael Thomas for a while now. I know people say he was back in the lineup, but it's a good thing to see Michael Thomas. Let's go over some of the numbers there, Bob. Taysom Hill was 9 of 13 for 127 yards. He had a quarterback rating of 100.5. Michael Thomas was targeted 7 times by Mr. Hill. He caught 56 yards. Mr. Sanders, 2 targets, 1 catch, 44 yards. Troutman, 1 catch for 19 yards. And Alvin Kamara he was only targeted once, but no catches on the day. Before we go to rushing, how do you see the receiving?
Again, it's really nice to get Michael Thomas, see Michael Thomas get more involved. Don't be surprised for a deep shot or two to either Emmanuel Sanders, which we've already seen, or even Deontay Harris, because we know that Taysom has a chemistry with Deontay, taking some third team and scout team reps. during last year's season. So there's a little bit of a rapport there. You'd like to see Jared Cook. You saw him get involved onto the goal line. And again, they're getting rid of the ball. Taysom getting rid of the ball. He's climbing up and moving around in the pocket well. We know he has the mobility, but again, he's keeping his composure and keeping his eyes down the field, which is promising. You'd like to see him use his legs a little bit more, and I expected we would have seen more of that in the first half. But there's still a long half of football to go, and it's still a lot of this Saints offense that we have yet to see unfold.
Yeah, they haven't found their continuity yet as an offense under him. I think more and more you're going to see these guys a little bit more comfortable. They get the ball coming out of the kickoff for the second half, so that's a good sign for them. Now, let's turn to the Saints defense. I think the defense, and I thought these guys would be the key to victory for the Saints in this game. So they have stopped Todd Gurley. They've only given up 23 yards to him. Matt Ryan is 12 of 21. He's been sacked 4 times. He's only been able to have a quarterback rating of 58.2. Bob, you have to be encouraged.
Oh, man, absolutely. And I couldn't agree more, Kyle. I thought that the New Orleans defense was going to be the key to this game. And so far, knock on wood, they have been. Defensive line is keeping Matt Ryan under constant duress, especially the defensive end position. Cam Jordan typically feasts on Atlanta pass blocking, and he's doing so again. Trey Hendrickson is having another spectacular outing, and we've seen Demario Davis pressure Matty Ryan on a couple key plays. But I'll tell you, you have to love the way this Saints secondary, knock on wood, is playing right now, especially without Marshawn Lattimore. We saw Patrick Robinson take a silly penalty, a foolish penalty, really. Same with Malcolm Jenkins. But outside of that, I love the way the aggressiveness my friend Patrick Robinson is playing with. Janoris Jenkins had a couple slip-ups, a stumble early in the game on that deep ball, and then a drop of an easy interception that 9 times out of 10 he catches. But other than that, they're keeping Calvin Ridley under wraps, and I know Julio Jones has been in and out of the lineup, with a sore hamstring, I think, sore hamstring or quad. But they've done well on him. And Atlanta has a deep receiving core, as I wrote about most of the week. So you have to love that the way the secondary is playing, but that pressure that they're getting up front really, really helps.
Right. Okay. Now we got to take this one question. Eddie Kelly, man. Eddie, you said that Taysom hasn't played as well as you believed he should have been playing. If Jameis was in the lineup, they would be making excuses, or we would not be making excuses for him. What are your thoughts there, Bob?
I can only speak for me personally, but that's incorrect. I appreciate the comment and the call out. But I felt all along that Jameis Winston should have started this game. And I hope that Taysom has pleasantly surprised me, as I've said a couple times on this telecast so far. Jameis and Taysom are 2 different players. So if Jameis was in the lineup, we would have seen probably a different kind of Saints offense. But given Taysom's skill set, the skill set we know he has, you have to be pleased with the way he's played so far. The Saints offense has left a couple opportunities on the table. And like I said, I called Taysom out, for taking a foolish sack, to basically help cause Lutz to miss that field goal attempt. But other than that, Taysom is playing within himself, and around what the Saints are asking him to do, and that's all you can ask for your backup quarterback position.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I have to believe that the Atlanta Falcons are going to take some more chances in the second half. Marcus Williams makes a great play on the ball in the end zone to be able to secure the interception. He did get pulled down kind of awkwardly there. But I have to say that the secondary, if they continue to play as well as they've been playing, I think we are due for a win. However, the Saints have to be a little bit more they have to take a little bit more chances as well offensively, don't you think?
Yeah, I do, and I'd like to see that on that first drive of the second half. The Saints deferred, so they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter. You do kind of feel like, and you mentioned this at the opening of the halftime show, Kyle. You do kind of feel like that the Saints are gaining more confidence offensively as the half was going along. So if they come out of the locker room smart. Let Taysom use the weapons around him. Use Michael Thomas. Use Alvin Kamara more. I'd like to see Latavius Murray get more heavily involved. Put some points on the board and really start to put pressure on that Atlanta offense to make plays against the Saints defense that is really coming at them aggressively.
And I think the Saints, if you look at Cam Jordan with his 2 sacks, and that's very good for him, stacking them up, going to the next level. But we have to also recognize Michael Thomas. He set another NFL record. Tell us about that, Bob.
You'll have to get me caught up to speed, Kyle. I missed that record. Okay. He's got so many of them.
He did surpass Jarvis Landry for the most receptions by a receiver or any player in the NFL, in history of the NFL, with over 481 catches their first 5 seasons in the league. And think about this. He's not through. So
not by a long shot. And it's been a weird and probably very frustrating season for Mike Thomas. But he's looking strong now. He's looking like the Michael Thomas that we've seen throughout his career so far. Gotta love that. Not only the second half of this game, but the stretch run of the regular season.
Okay, before we get off the air, man, the Saints. One concern I do have: the Saints are only converting 1 out of 5 times on third down. That has to be a major point of contention for Mr. Sean Payton going into the half, how these guys could be a little bit more effective. I think what you said also, being able to turn and focus on the run more should be a part of the game plan the second half. The Saints were out timed 13 minutes and 13 seconds in the first half to the Falcons 16 minutes, 47 seconds. Bob, tell everybody how they can find you on the World Wide Web.
Folks, you can find me on Twitter at BobbyR2613. Over on Facebook, of course, just look for Bob Rose, and all of my work, Kyle's work, and a cast of thousands at the Saints News Network and over at the SI.com team channel for the New Orleans Saints.
Man, cast of thousands. I didn't know I had all those guys on the payroll, man. So anyway, the cast of thousands is you, the Saints fans and guys who follow us. So go to si.com/NFL/Saints for the latest in New Orleans Saints news, and follow us on Twitter as well as Instagram and on Facebook at Saints News. Bob, any predictions for the second half?
I'm going to be sitting at the edge of my seat, just like the rest of us. Especially anxious to see how the Saints come out firing in the third quarter. But if they continue to put pressure on Matt Ryan like they have been doing defensively and clamp down on those big play prevention, I like the Saints' chances to come out of this with a win.
All right, awesome. I'm Kyle Mosley. You can follow me on Twitter at KTMOZE. And you can follow Bob Rose at BobbyR2613. And don't forget, John Hendricks, as well as Brendan Borland and Dr. Carla Antoine, are part of our writing crew, and our major contributor, Mr. Mike Detillier. Saints fans, let's buckle down for a great second half against the Dirty Birds. Take care, Bob. Take care, Saints fans. Who dat?
Yeah.